Ever wondered how 15,000 steps a day could skyrocket your energy levels and mental clarity?
Well, I did it for 174 days.
And you might be thinking that that's absolutely impossible with your packed schedule, but what if ignoring this one simple habit is actually costing you productivity and peace of mind?
Well, in this video, I'll reveal to you 20 different hacks that you can use to increase your daily step goals.
And show you how to manage this feat despite a busy work schedule and constant travel, but also unveil the unexpected boost of energy, focus, and increased productivity that comes with it. But I will also be debunking the myths surrounding steps as the miracle solution for weight loss and body recompositioning.
So the other day I was working for 16 hours straight because I had to meet some deadlines. And normally I would have ended the day feeling absolutely miserable, having sat on my booty all day. But on this day, I ended my day with 28,000 steps. And that may seem confusing, but let me show you why. Ta-da! Yep, it's the ultimate hack. But now before you jump out to buy yourself a running pad, I do want to share with you a few considerations that you may want to keep in mind to not make it be a complete waste.
But this is just one out of the 20 hacks that I'll be sharing with you in this video. Because for the next few months, I won't be able to use this walking pad because I'll be living out of a suitcase while traveling the world. However, I'm determined to get my 15,000 step goal in. So as I take you along on this journey, I'll show you exactly how I'm going to do it so that you can apply these simple step increasing habits as well.
And tip number 20
would literally change your life for the next 10 years minimum. But before we get to that,
step hack number 2 is useful for travel days like the one I had when leaving Los Angeles to begin my world travels. Because when I'm at the airport, instead of sitting on my booty waiting for the flight to take off, I make it a point to walk the entire airport. And I make sure to get in some steps in a gym session before leaving to catch my flight. But on this very day,
We just landed in Houston with a layover for 6 hours. The cool thing about that is that there's a gym in Houston, which apparently is
one of the best gyms ever.
which leads us to the third step hack, which I incorporated as we found an Uber to make our way to this cool gym. Because as we were waiting for the longest train in history to pass, I made my way out of the car to do a little dancing. Because if you want to get in more steps, you gotta seize your opportunities. And my mom taught me that it's the small daily choices that add up to shape the bigger picture of our lives.
which I mean, dancing is just the ultimate way to get the most amount of steps. You can dance in the kitchen while cooking, you can take a dance class, dance while brushing your teeth, at the club. Your mind's really the only limit.
But as we made our way to the gym,
This place is crazy. I can't believe this is a gym.
we're entering the next step hack because I want to ask you, when was the last time that you played sport or some sort of outdoor game activity? Because at this gym, there was an outdoor basketball court and we decided to play a game. And sport is really just an incredible way to increase your steps. So why not ask your kids or maybe friends if they want to go play a game in your local park?
But I also ended up increasing my step gain on that day because we almost missed our second flight, which would take us to our final destination, Costa Rica. But this is when things took a turn and the 15,000 steps became a little bit challenging.
we're in Costa Rica! So happy!
I can't see, babe.
Oh.
But now before I share with you the 16 other productive ways I was able to get in an average of 15,000 steps a day with a busy work schedule while traveling and living in a car, why is it that I'm so passionate about getting individuals like you and I to increase our daily step count? Well, first off,
It has been scientifically proven that when you move more, you get more energy because physical activity increases blood circulation, delivering more oxygen and nutrients to your muscles and brain, which in turn helps your body produce more energy at a cellular level, leading to a feeling of increased alertness and vitality. And that also includes releasing endorphins, hormones that promote feelings of well-being, and that increases your mood. And I feel this so intensely. Like, I will feel so drained if I'm just sitting on my butt all day working. But when I'm using my walking pad,
are some of these productivity step hacks that I'm about to share with you.
I keep getting these like energy boosts throughout the day. It always takes me like a little bit to get hyped to go do it, but then when I do it, it's always worth it. And I know you know this because when you don't feel motivated to go to the gym for that gym session, afterwards, do you not feel a million times more energized than when you were walking into the gym? I think so.
And this is why these step hacks become useful because I in Costa Rica was living in a 4x4 van, traveling, living in and exploring the most beautiful locations of this magical country. Because I was spending a lot of hours in the car, I had to come up with some more strategies to make this step goal possible, which are all simple and easy for you to apply into your day as well.
So we would park further away from our destinations, which is a hack that I highly recommend that you do as well. Whether you're going to the grocery store and you park a little bit further away from the store, or you're going to the office or visiting a friend, or taking it a step further. And rather than driving to our destinations, letting our tent above our car stay up and then walking to our digital nomad offices, gym sessions, or restaurants that we'd want to go eat our meals at, which is something that I always try to do. And I highly recommend that you do as well, regardless of where you are in the world. And this next one you got to pay attention to because it's been an absolute game changer for me. In the morning, when I write my to-do list, I'll prioritize completing the tasks that need to be performed in front of my computer, and then I will save all the emailing tasks, responding to messages, creating programs, or going through documents onto a to-do list on my phone so that I can complete these more simple to-do tasks while I'm on the Stairmaster. I've been doing this for about a year now, and I absolutely love it. It's the biggest multitasking hack, and when you're focused on doing your to-do list, you're not even focusing on the fact that you're killing yourself on those stairs. I would also go on walks while taking calls, responding to my clients and messages, which may also be something that you could apply during your workday. And I would take walks during my lunch break, which is something that I highly recommend we all try, because if we're sitting on our butt, working in front of our computer all day, when we have a lunch break, we shouldn't be eating, sitting our butts down and looking into a screen.
And I'm reminding myself just as much here because this is definitely something I am guilty of on many days as well.
Because the benefits are mind-blowing.
But before we get to that, I want to share with you another simple little step hack that doesn't just boost your happiness and mood, but it's also absolutely incredible for your digestion.
Is taking a little night walk after dinner. And I'm thinking, why don't we all make that a habit? A little family night walk by the sunset. Because this simple evening stroll could be an absolute life changer. Just that by itself for your well-being. And that leads me to the next hack, which is hikes. This is something that I came to absolutely love when I first moved to Los Angeles, because I grew up in Denmark, which is literally the flattest country on planet Earth. And so hiking really was not a part of my upbringing. But I've come to absolutely love this, both as a way for me to connect with nature and myself, but also to connect with the people in my life. And maybe you're literally watching this video right now because you need to be reminded to text that friend so that you guys could go on that hike together. That would be just the biggest energy booster of all time. Or maybe it's because you need to take yourself on a hiking date because it is literally therapy.
I've gone through some pretty dark and challenging times since moving to the States at 19 years old, and hiking has really helped me gain clarity and perspective through some of these challenging times. And it's been when I wanted to do it the least that I have needed to do it the most. So if your intuition is telling you that you may need it right now, please do yourself a favor and do it.
I have this thing that when people ask me if I want to meet up for coffee, I ask them, hey, how about we go on a hike instead? And it's always the best time ever.
But something that wasn't the best time ever was when I got food poisoning in Costa Rica and my step count was pretty much non-existent. But this is where my long-term success strategy came to my rescue, and I want to share with you what this is because it's something that if you choose to apply it as well, you may suddenly experience your consistency within any habit you've previously wanted to create actually finally stick. Because this is the one strategy that's helped me stay consistent with going to the gym, waking up at 4 a.m., meditating, journaling, and stay consistent with one of the hardest tasks for most people, which is eating healthy consistently for years. Because the reason that I've succeeded is because I don't see my failures as failures, but I instead use these setbacks as a way to put in my long-term success strategy. For example, when I first started on my fitness journey, if I messed up one day and found myself face first in 4 plates of chocolate, I didn't say, well, I guess I just failed. I may as well just give up now. No, I used it to put my long-term success strategy in place to succeed long-term. And so when I found myself inside of these chocolate plates, my strategy that helped me succeed long-term was that I decided to pre-plan one day a week where I could enjoy my desired treats. And this is the same thing that I did with my 15,000 steps, that if I fell short one day, instead of giving up on my goal for 15,000 steps, I simply committed to the strategy that I would have to spend the rest of the month to make up for it.
We're in the Monte Verde Cloud Forest Reserve. And I honestly, because my belly was in pain, I did not feel like it. But if you don't feel like moving your body, trust me, you gotta move it. You gotta get your butt into nature because it's gonna make you feel so much better. You know it. You know it. You know it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Okay.
And when arriving in Mexico, it only got easier because there I could walk everywhere. To the office, to the gym, to the restaurants, and only when necessary jump on the back of Alex's scooter. Which made me get more like 20k steps at least a day, which luckily did make up for the couple of days where I was fasting for the first time ever and my step game and energy levels were on the lower end. And my experience in Mexico walking to everything made me question if potentially simply selling your car and having to find your way around on foot could be the ultimate step hack. And well, if I lived in Europe where we were traveling to next, that for sure is something I would do. Because here, this step game only got easier. Which leads us to the next step hack. Because first, I went out to explore the city of Glasgow. But even if you're simply in your own hometown, I know for a fact that if you apply this step hack and ditch the car like I do, that you for absolute certain are gonna find things that you would have never seen if you'd been stuck behind the wheel. Just go explore, because you may just end up experiencing something very magical. And when we went to Denmark, piece of cake, because I always tend to hit 20k steps because of these bad boys. I don't drive in Denmark no matter the weather. And it's always been like this. When I was a kid, we would be cycling no matter the weather. We would always bike everywhere, and if it was too snowy, we would just walk to school. In Denmark, hanging out and going on long walks with your friends and your family is just like the norm, which obviously makes getting steps in so much easier, and it's so energizing, guys. So ask yourself, which friend can you call up right now and be like, we should go on a walk this week, just something active, because it's gonna make you feel so good. And so in Denmark, I managed to have my average daily step goal be on a high as I made my way to the airport to go to the next destination, which was Bali. But I'd made a phenomenal plan as I'd found a layover stop with an actual gym inside of the airport.
I am at the airport, and if you don't believe me, like I'm literally at the gym in the airport, and there's a pool there that I'm about to jump into. Craziness. I don't know if you can see it, but down there is the airport. Flight information. I got a 9-hour layover. Go to Doha Airport if you're traveling to Asia, because this is so amazing. I'm so happy.
Not only could I hit my step goal, but also get my workout in and a little swim. And then when I made it to Bali, I upped my step game through going on runs, both just as a midday break from work.
Running in Bali is such a challenge.
But also sometimes go to a gym that was a little further away from where we lived so that I got in those steps.
Because did you know that a simple 5k run is typically gonna get you anywhere between 5 to 7k steps?
Also, my dad got married in Bali, and we spent a full week with the family on a resort, which was absolutely stunning, celebrating their beautiful love.
And it got me thinking of another step hack, because for one, the resort was massive.
So not only did I hit my step goal, but because we also decided to walk to gyms that were a couple of miles away, and I got in some runs.
Oh my god, I'm running with the monkeys! What? This is crazy. I love Bali. I love you. So if movement is important for you, it may just be something to put into consideration before booking your next trip. And because I hired myself as a videographer for my dad's wedding and got 31,000 steps that day because I was running around this resort all day like a crazy person.
Which just made me think of another hack, which will not resonate with all of you, but I just feel like I need to share this anyway. Because if you're someone who is sick and tired of your desk job, sitting down at your office, and you don't even feel there's any purpose behind what you do anyway, then what if you were to switch careers to becoming a waiter, which waiters get over 20k steps a day, or become a nurse or a farmer or a retail worker or a teacher or even a professional cleaner. All of these people are moving around constantly. Or if you don't want to switch your career at this very moment, which is very understandable, how about you set a timer on your phone so that every 60 to 90 minutes you hear the alarm and you get up off of your chair, you go dance, you go move around a little bit. It will remotivate you, and I think it'll make you feel good.
Which leads us to the next step hack, because when things took a little turn in Bali and I made my way back to Los Angeles,
I could not only get in a ton of steps through reorganizing my home, which by the way you can get to through housework or gardening.
I could get back to using the stairs, which helps when you live on the fourth floor. Like, I literally never use the elevator nor escalator anywhere if I can prevent it.
But I also got my walking pad back, which by the way, before I get into the final freaking incredible way for you to increase your step goal, I have this one inclined so that it helps me increase my heart rate further and thereby burn more calories, which the weight loss thing we're about to get into. But first, literally the other day, I had an hour and 20-minute session with one of my clients where I could have just sat on my ass, but instead I was stepping away and I'd ended up burning 300 calories without even noticing on a work call with a client. You have that option as well if you get a walking pad. But just so you're aware, when you're working on it, there may be a slight adjustment period where you need to get used to it, but trust me, it literally makes me feel so much more creative, feel so much more energized, and just good when I use it a couple of times throughout my day. And so before we get to whether or not 15,000 steps is actually a weight loss hack,
we have to speak about the 20th hack, which I have not yet applied, but the other day I did seriously start questioning whether or not I should. And that is to get a dog. I mean, you'll not just get unconditional love, happiness boost, but you will literally be forced to get your booty up and walk 3 times a day.
and as far as to whether or not 15,000 steps could actually be a weight loss hack, it certainly can be, but when it comes to weight loss and weight gain, it's about calories in versus calories out. And so if I burn an additional 500 calories a day through suddenly increasing my steps to 15,000 a day, and I don't increase my daily caloric intake, then yes, I will see massive weight loss. But if I end up adding a Ben & Jerry's pint of ice cream in every night, then it would leave me in a caloric surplus. And I would end up gaining weight. So all of that to say that if aligned with the right nutritional approach, yes, it can be a weight loss hack.
And if you're someone who wants to get in the best shape of your life, you should join my next transformation challenge, an incredible community where I guide you through every single step of the way when it comes to simplifying your nutrition, training, and daily habits for massive success.
Your body is meant to move. It's not meant to sit down all day. And yes, maybe it will require a little bit more effort from you, but your mind is your only limit. So make yourself do it because you deserve happiness. And this may just be your solution, or at least the beginning of something new and beautiful.